So, in the last couple of years, there's been a pretty niche trend happening in the notebook space, and that's having a second monitor on the unit. HP went for a small screen with the X2S, and Asus went with an ultra-wide display right above the keyboard. I always thought that it was a pretty nifty feature for productivity on notebooks, but I'm a desktop kind of guy, so how can I have something similar without breaking my neck looking up and down with a stacked monitor setup? Well, with this is the FICIHP or FICIHP K2, and we're reviewing it on your boot sequence. So this is the FICIHP K2. It's one of the two models that was kickstarted with this campaign right here. There's the K1, which has an almost 100% keyboard with scissor switches, and then there's the K2, which is this one, and it has a mechanical keyboard. So let's check out what kind of goodies we got in here. The keyboard, wow, this is a hefty boy. It feels solid. It feels really robust. It's all solid aluminum construction, or at least it seems like it, and it does not budge. It does not flex at all. I really like the finish. All right, let's check out what else we got in the box here. We got a wrist rest, that's really nice, and we got a couple of cables. We got two cables, a USB-C one and a monster cable that we'll talk about in a second. You also get a keycap puller and a pouch for, I'm guessing, the wrist rest? Oh no, it unfolds. Here you go. There you go. A pouch for the keyboard too. Lastly, of course, we got the manual, and that is pretty much it for the unboxing. So there's two ways to connect this thing to your device. The first one is obviously just USB-C. So USB-C to USB-C. If your laptop or PC supports it, it's honestly the best way. It's just one connector and you're good to go. If your device doesn't though, you'll have to hook it up with this monster of a cable, which will use one HDMI port and two USB ones. So yeah, not ideal for a laptop. At least the actual unit has two extra USB inputs, which is great, but they are limited to USB 2.0 speeds, which means that it's only ideal for things like maybe a mouse or small flash drives. If we look at the keyboard part, it is a 60%-ish design with extra buttons on the right side. Personally, I love me a 100% keyboard with a numpad, but I was able to live with this for the amount of time that I tested it. In terms of switches, we're looking at three different models. You can have Gatoron Reds, Gatoron Browns, or the model that we have right here, which have Gatoron Blue switches. So, yeah, I probably should have requested the reds or browns instead of letting them choose for me. The keycaps that come with it are ABS, and they are fully swappable, so if you want to swap them with a higher quality PBT keycap, you have the option to do so. The only thing I don't love is the lack of legends for the function keys. Without them, you're left kind of ruffling through the manual to figure out which button does what. For example, the RGB modes and controls are on these buttons right here, but you won't know that until you open the manual. It's not ideal, but like with any keyboards, you can build a little muscle memory. The RGB is bright, and of course you can adjust it, but there is no software accompanying this, so no super fancy RGB customization. So yeah, all in all, it is a very solid keyboard. But now let's move on to the pièce de résistance, the screen. Well, it's a 12.6-inch display with a resolution of 1920 by 515. So it's slightly thinner vertically than half of a 1080p display. At this size, honestly, it's perfectly fine. I believe the ZenBook Duo 14 has the same size and resolution screen. It's bright enough in an office environment or for a bedroom, but forget about taking this thing outside. It's definitely not bright enough for that. But why would you take this thing outside? Well, remember when I said that it has USB-C connectivity? Well, that's not just for your computer. You can actually connect it to your Android device so you can work from pretty much anywhere. It's pretty cool if you ask me. Personally, I used it at the office, and that second screen was pretty useful. I would just have my script on the bottom screen while I was doing my research on my main monitor. I also tried putting my video timeline down there while I edit videos, but I'm just too used to having having my timeline on my main monitor, so that didn't work out for me. Although I could see other useful ways you could use this screen for, because it's a touchscreen, a 10-point touchscreen to be exact. So let's say, for example, well, you guys know that I make music on my free time. Well, if you make music too, or if you're a streamer, you can have your audio faders down there and you can move them in real time. It's a game changer for that. Oh, and for the touchscreen itself, Windows can handle it in two different ways. It can act as a simple trackpad if you use this thing with a laptop, or it can be its own touchscreen. You just have to change the settings in Windows. So yeah, quite honestly, I really love this thing. It's a one-of-a-kind product, and I can honestly see this concept expand into the market. But there are a few things that I would really like to see implemented on a future iteration. The first thing I mentioned earlier, and that's the legend on the keyboard. But that's not that big of an issue. The main thing is the screen's angle. As is, it's a little too flat for me, even when the legs are up, because yes, it does have legs. And the reason why I'd like an angle is because, well, I like to lean back when I work while I look at my screen, so looking at it at this angle is not ideal. I basically had to sit up straight at all times to see the screen clearly. I guess it kind of helps my posture in some ways, but yeah, if it tilted just a little bit, like 15 degrees, it'd be awesome and I'd be so much happier. But now the big question is, how much does it cost? Well, it's about $360 US for the scissor switch model and about 400-ish for the mechanical version like I have right here. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty hefty sum, but there's absolutely nothing like it on the market. So if you see a use for it, it's worth it. I am for sure going to be using this for music production because I see the value in it. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. In any case, that's pretty much it for today's video. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Drop a like if you liked it, a comment if you want to, discuss your feelings or something. As usual, you can click right here to see the latest video, right here to subscribe to the channel. Stay frosty, my dudes, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm losing my voice again. What the hell is this? Take care.